Hello, my name is Christopher Randich. This is the National Gallery of Victoria, but today we're going to be doing some interviews. So we're going to be interviewing a lot of people on the streets of Melbourne to see what they think. If the Holden Aussie icon, even though it's going to be made in another country, will they still call it an Aussie icon? Do you believe that the car manufacturing in Australia should go offshore?
At the moment, I think yes. There's a lot of problems with it being in Australia. There's a lot of fights with the government at the moment and arguments about it. They should just, I reckon, if they go overseas and stuff and they start manufacturing for like imports and stuff, it'll increase more rates of like manufacturing in the business area, I reckon.
Okay. How do you think this will affect job opportunities in Australia, knowing that they're going to be importing like even overseas workers here, and that means that Australian workers will get their sack or will get fired? How do you think this will affect?
Yeah, with all the job losses in maybe like the Ford industry or all those other industries, we need a lot more employment rate of that. So if we do it overseas and everything and manufacturers, it would maybe drop lower or something like that. But we really just need to keep the employment rate up for that manufacturing level that it originally was.
Yep. And lastly, would you still call the Holden an Aussie icon, even though it's going to be made overseas?
It's still going to be an Aussie icon because you still have that, rivalry between Holden and Ford. So you can never ruin that or anything. So it's still going to stay the same, I reckon.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time.
No worries, man.
And have a good day.
Thanks, man.
Okay. Do you believe car manufacturing in Australia should go offshore?
No.
Now, why do you think it should stay here?
Well, we lose a lot of business, the backup business to the plants, all the small manufacturers. There'll be a lot of employment gone, and there'll be another manufacturer going offshore. We need them.
How do you think this will affect like job opportunities in Australia? Like they're going to be importing overseas workers to come work for Holden, and all the Australian workers will be out of job. How will this affect just even the Australian economy just itself?
Well, they get cheaper labour, that's all.
Okay. And my final question is, will you still call Holden an Aussie icon, even though it will be made offshore?
No, it's an Australian icon.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, and
thank you.
have a good day, sir. Do you believe that car manufacturing in Australia should go offshore?
Yes.
And why do you think this?
We've got a small population size, and they only sell something like 20,000 cars in Australia every year. A percentage of those are European and a percentage of them are Australian made. Really, it's not cost effective to actually do it, so I actually think it should be made offshore, all cars.
How do you think this will affect job opportunities, even though they're going to be importing overseas workers to come work for Holden? And this also means that Australian workers will not work for Holden anymore. How do you think this will affect the Australian automotive industry?
Well, I think the only way to make any business justifiable to exist is to make it profitable. And if they can't make Australian cars profitably in Australia using Australian workforce, then they have to make them offshores. So I don't have a problem with that. Whether the fact that it's still an Australian product, if it's got a Holden name on it, that's up for people who buy Holden cars to know in their heart of hearts. I don't actually own a car, so it doesn't actually affect me.
And my final question is, will you still call Holden an Aussie icon, even though it will be made offshore?
Oh, I think that there's some of the very early Holden cars especially, like the FJ Holden and stuff, that can only be an Australian car. The Holden Ute can only ever be an Australian car. I think they are iconically Australian. Of course I don't make those anymore, but I think, it's part of the Australian history. So yeah, I think, fair enough. They'll be Australian.
Well, thank you for your time, and have a lovely day.
Thank you.